So the battles are raging. It will be a really exciting tussle right from the get-go. I think everybody is going to be in a strong position. Here we go. A good battle from the Academy Trophy. And now they come out onto the circuit, ready for the next encounter. Qualifying E-Day versus D. Matthias Orweila and Dino Sabin Storescu on the front row of the grid. Mark Dubnitsky and Joel Pajola. Kiana Batig and Nando Weichselbaumer from Caleb Gafrara and Timofey Mikolov. Oliver Kinmark and Alexander Deshkov from Marcus Sirkunas and Matilda Pats. Kyoho Lee and Arthur Dorisson from Adrian Fedder and Harry Mamassi. Ari Wibowo and Bati Yildirim from Hamza Al-Fayez and Elina Rolfsson. Then Sol de Colombres, Henry Jocelyn, Gabriel Sano, Ruben Dovale. And at the back of the grid, it is Mira Al-Zabi. So the competitors working very hard as they go for another exceptional battle. Definitely going to be a really exciting story for the drivers as they continue to charge their way forward. So they are pushing in with a fantastic amount of energy. The competitors really want to be up at the sharp end from the start. So we're going to have a really exciting and very interesting tussle for all of the competitors. We're going to see how it all plays out and how the competition continues. But we're in for an exceptional charge forward, that is for sure. From the start, Matthias Orweila is hoping that he is going to be in a pretty comfortable position from the outset. So who is going to get a charge forward? We're obviously going to get to find out very soon indeed. And as they come through, I think we're going to get a clean start. Off the go is Matthias Orweila going to get to the first corner first. Certainly looks that way as they come up to the first turn. No problems at all. Dino Storescu is hoping he doesn't run too wide, but there is a big challenge through to the first couple of corners. Storescu seems to have slotted himself neatly into position, and everybody squabbles further back. There's one driver that hasn't made the start, I'm afraid, and that is Nando Weichselbaumer. I think Matilda Pats has had problems as well, so both Pats and Weichselbaumer in big trouble. As far as they're concerned with things, it's very, very tricky out there on the course. So everybody wanting to put on a bit of a showcase of it. Oh, a bit of an off there further back, but everybody has continued. So it got a little bit close to each other. Very close racing. Let's see how it continues as everybody is on their A game. And we're in for an exceptional showcase if the racing continues here. Oh, bit of a run wide out of the final turn. Orweila is your leader. So big pressure and some tough racing. Storescu in second from Dubnitsky. Oh, and a run wide in the middle of the pack there. That's the 521 going wide. Now that is a big mistake from the 521 car. That's Adrian Ferrer. He drifted out wide. So a big mistake, a big error in judgment. So some tricky moments on the course. And we're going to see how things continue to progress. How is the American talent Caleb Gafrara getting on? Well, he has had a bit of a topsy-turvy start. Oh, the weekend, and a spin! A spin for the 518. What a shame for Joel Pajola. Third place, he just lost the back end of the car. Didn't have any help there at all. Didn't have anybody pushing him around the track. He just lost the traction out of the final corner. What a shame for Joel Pajola. So out in front, no pressure from Matthias Orweila. The Colombian still looking very good out front. Then Storescu, Dubnitsky, and Caleb Gafrara, the young man from North Carolina. A bit of a robble there from the 517 of Oliver Kinmark. Manages to catch it, but he's going to run wide again on the exit. As here comes Marcus Sirkunas, the Lithuanian on the inside line, and he gets through, I believe. Bit of a run wide there from Dubnitsky as Caleb Gafrara tries to get the move on the inside. So some big pressure. Tries to come through, hasn't made it. So Gafrara in front of him is Dubnitsky. So some big pressure. But Orweila is already long gone out front. Whoa! It's been a big off further back. But I don't see anybody parked up in the grass, so I think whoever went off the road has been able to get back on the road again. But this is exactly what we were talking about. You've got to keep in that narrow racing line. If you even come slightly off it, and we're talking 2 to 3 centimeters, it's a bit like being a drunk dad at a wedding on roller skates. You just cannot keep the cart on the racing line. And if you even go slightly off it, it's going to chuck you off into the grass. So these guys are really working hard. Back on the inside, nice move from the 518. That is Joel Pajola getting himself back onto the inside line, getting past Elina Rolfsson. So there's not a lot that she can do about that one. Pajola makes the move and gets up into 11th place. So continuing the challenge out of the final turn. And onto the home straight again. 5:23. Mark Dubnitsky in front of Caleb Gafrara. Then Marcus Selkunas and Oliver Kinmark, 6th place. Dino Storescu is doing his best to keep up with Orjuela, but Matheus Orjuela, he's checked out. He may as well be on the run to Milan because he's absolutely miles ahead of the rest of the field. There he is, there's the lead. Storescu doing his best to pull clear. And then Dubnitsky having gone away from Selkunas and Gafrara. So now we've got the battle a little further back. This is the 5:17 of Oliver Kinmark in front of Timofey Mikolov, the Malaysian. And also in that gaggle of drivers, several other competitors trying to make hay where the opportunity comes through. Jola managing to creep up a little bit more. Manotta Dorisson is trying to make up some progress, having had some problems earlier on, and off the road goes Dorisson. Manotta Dorisson, the man who won at Genk, is having a nightmare weekend here in Cremona. That just goes to show you from one race weekend to the next, you never know what's going to happen. As Hadi Mamassi passes the man who won at Genk. So a good move from the Canadian, that puts him up to 13th. Matheus Orjuela just dominating out front. Storescu second, Dubnitsky third, then Selkunas, Gafrara and Kinmark. From Mikolov, Ferrer, Bojola and Adi Wibowo. So the only drivers not running in the race now are Nando Weichselbaumer, Matilda Pats and Mira Alzabi. The latter two ladies unfortunately unable to take the start. Weichselbaumer was off on the first lap, I think. So big problems there for Weichselbaumer. But this man looking comfortable. Storescu, the Romanian, really enjoying it. Out through the final turn. Caleb Gafrara still hunting down a top 3 finish if he can find one, but he's going to have to work hard here to get past both Dubnitsky and Selkunas, the Estonian and the Lithuanian. So through they continue to make progress. Up through the far side and onto the back straight once more. Dubnitsky, Selkunas, Gafrara. They are 5.5 seconds nearly behind Matheus Orjuela. Such is the Colombian's pace. Just seems to have perfect traction, good pace out of the turns. He's keeping it nice and smooth out there. You need to when the tyre degradation is so high. But excellent work from the Colombian Matheus Orjuela, who goes into his penultimate lap now, lap 8. 7 laps completed, 8 laps are going to be completed at the end of this one. It is lap 8, so 2 to go. Storescu, second place from Dubnitsky, Selkunas and Gafrara. Look at the rubber that's laid down there in the middle of turn 3 and 4. That line of rubber is as long as a rattlesnake out there. Absolutely crazy. Through they come again, down the back straight. And up to the hairpin. This is where we're going to see a move or two potentially from Caleb Gafrara, the American, working his way into the craft. Can he get through into 4th place? Bit of a run wide from Selkunas. But the Lithuanian holds on to it. Always very tricky for a non-European to run up at the sharp end of the field in the Academy Trophy these days when you've got 3 race weekends, all based in Europe. Here we go. Matheus Orjuela, the Colombian, showcasing that you don't need to be a European born and bred to come to the Academy Trophy and showcase your skill. And the Colombian, absolutely monstrous out here. And certainly looking like another fantastic representative of his country on the world stage. I wonder how closely the likes of Juan Pablo Montoya and his son Sebastian will be keeping an eye on this, because they have got a massive passion for karting and a massive passion for their country, doing a great job in motorsport. And this young man, Matheus Orjuela, definitely looking like the next big sensation from Colombia. He comes out of the final turn and it's monstrous domination from Matheus Orjuela today. 2 race wins out of 2 starts. And it's exactly the same for Tibor Ramicus, so they're going to meet together for the first time tomorrow. And that's going to be fascinating. A great race down to the final corner, out of the final turn, and down to the line for Manotta Dorisson, who just manages to get back past Henry Jocelyn before the finish line. So great racing all the way from the kids in the Academy. And it looks like we had a last lap retirement. I'm afraid that's Ruben do Valle, the Mozambique racer, having come off on the final lap of the race. So problems for him. What a shame. The African driver trying to make up as much progress as he possibly can. And it just hasn't worked out for him in the end. So some tough racing out there, some big battles and some very tricky performances. But the Academy Trophy drivers once again showcasing good skill and ability and a real rhythm for the racetrack here. Really good performance from the competitors who have made a bit of a show of it once again here in the Academy Trophy. And it's a victory once more for Matias Orjuela. Good job from the Colombian. Second place for Dino Storescu. Then Mark Dubnitsky and Marcus Selkunas from Caleb Gafrara and Oliver Kinmark. Timofey Mikhailov and Joel Pajola. Then Adrian Ferrer and Aditya Wibowo. Elena Rolfson and Arte Dorisson from Henry Jocelyn and Chiara Batig. Saul de Colombres, the Mexican, did not quite make the progress of last time, but he is there in 15th from Hadi Mamasi and Alexander Deshkov. Then it is Bati Yildirim, the Turkish driver, who finishes up in front of the Jordanian Hamza Al-Fayez. Then Gabriel Sano, Kyoho Lee, and the retirements. Well, we had Ruben de Valle, Nando Weichselbaumer ended up off the racetrack on the first lap, and neither Matilda Pats nor Mira Al-Zabi were able to take the start of this race. So tricky situations then in the Academy Trophy.